prepare just in case it is. And you'll hear in a minute a kind of a short-term outlook and then a midterm outlook over the next couple of days as well. We're in contact with our partner, our close partners and outstanding civil servants with the National Weather Service, and John Gordon is here from the National Weather Service. He's been working hard here throughout the afternoon, and he'll provide us with the latest. John?
Good afternoon, everyone. This is a high confidence forecast of a wintry mix this week. The models have come in more of alignment. So the forecast we're looking for is a bunch of sleet and snow with a little bit of light freezing rain. When's that going to start? Overnight tonight towards daybreak in the morning. We've put out we just upgraded the watch with the mayor just mentioned. A winter weather advisory is in effect from late tonight, believe it or not, all the way to Thursday evening. That's the deal. So number one, is this the same as 2009 ice storm? No, it is not. Is this the same as the 2003 ice storm or the 94 snowstorm? No, it is not. But it's a long duration, light precipitation event with snow and light freezing rain on the north side. We put out an ice storm warning across the Bluegrass Parkway to the point south, and they're going to get crunched. If you go to the next slide, please. Areas along the Bluegrass Parkway to the Cumberland Parkway will get between 1/4 and 3/4 of an inch of ice accretion. That's going to cause problems with travel and power. On the north side, we're worried about an overzealous amount of snow or sleet. Last night, Cincinnati got almost 10, 11 inches of snow. So they overachieved. That snow with a light north wind is going to keep more cold air into our area. What does that mean for us? 1 to 2 inches of snow with some sleet. Our confidence is medium for snow, ice to the south. Overall impact is high confidence on the timing. Overnight, very light precipitation amounts. Light during the day tomorrow. We may actually go above 32 briefly before we fall back. Tomorrow evening's commute through the overnight hours, especially Thursday morning commute. That is the most problematic area for the Louisville Metro. I believe there'll be a gradient from the north side of Louisville to the south side of Louisville. Places like Okolona and Fern Creek, Fairdale will get more ice or sleet, whereas the north side of Louisville up there to the Pee Wee Valley will get more in the form of snow. Next slide, please. All right, so this is the timeline. It goes on. Look at this. 4 periods. We go from light mix of sleet and freezing rain tonight. That will transition tomorrow night to a more steady period of light sleet and snow, a little bit of ice. Our ice amounts for Louisville, probably 1/10 of an inch or less. Snow and sleet up to 1 to 2 inches. I think if we're going to bust, we'll get more sleet. That's probably the biggest concern. It will go all the way to Thursday evening, and then cold weather continues this weekend. I think it's going to be hard to get above 32 throughout the entire weekend period. Next slide, please. So overall, greatest accumulation of snow, sleet, and freezing rain is in the Louisville Metro to the points to the north, the ice is to the south, and cold temperatures will persist well into next week. The models diverge completely on Sunday, everywhere from snow to almost nothing. We have believe it or not, we look at a lot of data. Some of the data's got 40-degree temperature spread on Sunday. So I don't have a lot of confidence on Sunday. I have a lot of confidence for this winter weather event for the next 36 hours or so. So are there any questions? Sunday night, the low could get close to 0 with the wind chills below 0. Thank you. I always forget my cue cards. All right. Thank you.
All right, thanks, John. And you heard it. It's going to get really cold. So everybody, make sure you're making precautions for yourself, for pets, people that might live next to you that depend on you. Let's check in on everybody. Okay, now in preparation for all this, our snow team is hard at work. They have plenty of salt, literally tons of salt, and you'll hear about that in a second. They've been out treating the roads in preparation since Monday. Our day shift snow team will continue that work through 7 p.m. tonight when the night shift takes over. And we're going to continue treating the roadways for as long as necessary. Our snow team, a lot of folks contribute to that. It's a partnership of dedicated public servants from 4 different departments: Metro Parks, Metro Codes and Regulations, our Fleet and Facilities Department, all led by Metro Public Works. So right now, let's hear from Metro Public Works Director Vanessa Burns. I want to thank our Public Works team. They've been rising to the occasion on many different things, whether it's treating our roads or helping keep our parks clean. We appreciate that. So Vanessa, what's the latest?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I often think about if I was a child in a car going on vacation and the kid says, when are we going to get there? I know under your jurisdiction, you're always going to say, are we ready? And I believe that Metro Snow Team is ready. We have over 200 people. We have over 100 trucks. And as the mayor has said, we have thousands of tons of salt. So I believe that we're in a position to be able to make the roads as safe as we can, and we look forward. What we will need to ask is that people look out for our trucks and our employees who may be getting out of the truck to fix the salt auger, which is the thing that spins behind the truck, and or they may, depending on freezing rain, they may have to get out the truck to wipe the windows down. So we're just asking people, as best you can, to watch out for our employees and our trucks. It's never an easy thing. Our people are going to be working 12-hour shifts. That means that they'll be working 12 hours, they're off 12 hours, another set comes on for 3 days. That's a long time. So we just appreciate all the cooperation that we can get. And we just want, like everyone else, for people to be safe. And if there are any questions, details on the snow team, my assistant director who's in charge of the snow team, Brian Funk, is also here.
Thank you, Director Burns. Appreciate that. Okay, over the last several years, we made a lot of progress on how people can track progress of the snow team. So know that starting tomorrow morning, you can go to louisvilleky.gov and check out the snow route map if you want to get real-time information on what's going on. A lot of folks come together to create safe conditions during times like this. So I really want to give a shout out to the public servants who are on call 24/7 to mobilize in response to winter weather. Think about what a lot of people are doing when these folks are out working, driving a truck. It's cold, it's dark, it's windy, it's snowy, it's icy, and they're taking care of business while you might be tucked away at home being nice and warm. Well, they're out getting after it. So I really want to say thank you to the members of the snow team, and I want to thank our first responders as well for taking on dangerous work during these severe weather conditions. So when you see somebody, thank them. And just, if you need to get out of the way, give them berth so they can get by in a safe and practical way. So we're really grateful to everybody that's stepping up on this, okay? So that's the bottom line for us, is trying to stay safe during all this, particularly in bad or dangerous weather. And the safest place, where is it? Generally, it's at home. So that's an idea we're all pretty used to at this point with this COVID-19 pandemic still among us. And it's especially true when road conditions are wintry and icy. So that said, there are keys to staying safe when you're at home. And if you absolutely have to travel, there's keys to staying safe to do that as well. So to hear more about those, I'm going to turn things over to our Director of Metro Emergency Services, Jody Meiman. Jody?
Thanks, Mayor. Yeah, there's a few things, obviously, to keep in mind when you were talking about severe weather, specifically in the wintertime. These things change, like John said. You know, we could have certain precipitation in the south part, in the southern part of the county, and another type of precipitation in the northern part of the county. So you're really going to have to watch your conditions and what's going on around your area. These storms can cut off heat. They can cause trees to fall on power lines. Please stay off the roads if you don't have to travel. If you do have to travel, make sure that you put some type of emergency kit inside of your car, jumper cables, batteries, water, some type of non-perishable food, just to keep yourself in case that you get stranded alive, or keep yourself safe. Again, stay indoors, dress warm. If you have to go to a shelter or you have to go somewhere, if you lose power in your house, make sure we still have a pandemic going on. So make sure that you're still honoring those type of rules, wearing a mask, stay 6 feet apart, try to stay around the same people that you normally have in your household. Power outages are very frequent in situations like this. If you lose power and have to use a generator, please, please, please do not put that generator anywhere in your house, around your windows, around your doors, where you can get potential poisoning from the fumes that come off of those generators. Listen for emergency notifications when you go to louisvilleky.gov and take a look at the snow map. Go down to the bottom of the page and sign up for Lens Alert, our Louisville emergency notification system, and set up your smart 911 profile so that you can get real-time alerts as needed during any type of situation or severe weather. Always watch and pay attention and know the signs and symptoms of hypothermia or frostbite. If you're sick and need assistance, try to talk to your primary care physician. Obviously, if it's an emergency and you need to call 911, then do so. Also, still, again, with some pandemic rules, please give them specifics that you potentially may be having COVID symptoms so that they can pass that on to the first responders, as we've been doing for several months. Check on your neighbors, especially the young and the elderly. Create your emergency supply kit as well for your house in case you lose power. If you've got fireplaces, make sure you have an adequate amount of firewood around so that you may be able to stay in your own home. And also make sure you're taking care of your pets. Try to keep them in the house where they don't have prolonged periods of time outside. We've been in contact with LG&E and KU. They're constantly monitoring the situation. Their delivery system is built to withstand extreme conditions such as what we may face in the next couple of days. However, ice always poses some of the biggest threats and safety to the system. We all remind everyone, please stay away from down power lines and treat every down line as it's an energized, dangerous line. To notify LG&E of a wire down, please call 502-589-1444. That's 502-589-1444. We've also been in contact with the shelters in the area. White flag operation will be in effect for people that need to go to shelters throughout the area, and the Red Cross is on standby for any type of sheltering that we may need to set up throughout the duration of the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Jody. Okay, one other note, Jody mentioned COVID. We've got our max vaccination site going on. We call it LouVax at Broadbent Arena. So they're monitoring the weather conditions. And in the event we need to cancel scheduled vaccination appointments due to severe weather, the LouVax team will make the call early tomorrow and will communicate it widely. So please be on the lookout for that. I imagine that the hospital systems will be doing the same thing. So just be alert to their websites and the media tomorrow. And please know that if we at LouVax have to cancel or postpone appointments due to weather, doses will be reserved for those that need to be rescheduled. So don't freak out if you've got to not make it tomorrow because we're closed down. We will keep a dose for you and you will be rescheduled. And those individuals will receive an email from Lou Health COVID Vaccines at louisvilleky.gov inviting them to reschedule according to their availability. Okay? In addition, when winter weather turns severe or dangerous, like it's going to over the next couple of days, whether it's snow, ice, or the temperature, we're always in conversations with the Coalition for the Homeless and other partners, talking about shelter operations and capacity and supplies, and working to do whatever we can to help our most vulnerable citizens get through the harsh winter weather. A reminder that Operation White Flag goes into effect when the temperature or the wind chill is below 35 degrees, so there's going to be a lot of opportunities over that over the next several days. And since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Salvation Army has set up a Healthy Day shelter located at their campus at 911 South Brook Street with a 400-person capacity, and no reservations are required. Also, when road conditions are icy, that affects critical programs like Meals on Wheels, funded by KIPTA. For tomorrow, Meals on Wheels frozen meal deliveries are being rescheduled. I'm happy to say, though, that those seniors who pick up weekly meals were able to pick up additional meals last Friday in anticipation of the bad weather coming this week. Homebound seniors will be contacted by our Resilience and Community Centers staff for health check-ins and to check food supply. Since we began delivering 5 frozen meals during COVID, many homebound clients should have extra meals in the freezer, plus the annual shelf-stable meals that were delivered before the holidays to prepare for winter weather events like what we're looking at over the next day or so. All right, so everybody plan ahead a little bit. Be careful, have your network in place. If you don't have your network in place, rely on us here at Metro Government. So with that, we'll take any questions, Jess, if they're out there.
Thank you, Mayor. The first question is for Public Works. Comes from Jerica Valtier with Wave 3 News. She would like to know priority roads. Which are at the top? What's the plan for neighborhood roads or side roads? And what are the most crash-prone roads in Louisville?
I'm going to have Brian Funk. There are 110 routes, the main and arterial roads. We generally don't do residential, but I'll let him do that detail.
Thank you, Director. Brian Funk from Public Works. As you know, their primary objective in Public Works is to open the major through roads, the so-called arterial roads within Louisville Metro, the collector streets between those arterials, as well as other identified priority areas. We're not normally doing neighborhood streets except if they're considered a priority for a specific reason. Our goal is to keep the roads open for the emergency equipment, police, fire, ambulance, and the like, so they can perform their duties during the snow events. As the director mentioned, those are 110 routes that they are maintaining through these events. Thanks.
At this time, are there any other questions from media? Please place those in the chat. And Jerica with Wave has a follow-up for Public Works. She said, can we get specific roads of which will be covered? Jerica, can you clarify in the chat, are you talking what you mean by covered?
Well, there are specific routes that we do, and those routes are on the snow map. So if you wanted to go to, as the mayor mentioned, the website contains all of the streets that are part of our snow routes. And if you have any questions about that, please let us know at another date. Those are set routes. We're not in the process of changing them during the week or during the storm or any other time during the rest of this winter.
Okay, Jerica clarified. She said she's asking which main roads will be looked at first, Hurstbourne or Taylorsville roads?
All of our routes are numbered, and those numbers are based on priority. So Route 1 is the highest priority, and those include all the major streets, Shelbyville, Bardstown, the Dixie Highway, Preston Highway, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the first streets that we always do. They're our most highest priority. Very good, Mayor. Thank you. We are responsible for all the state highways like Bardstown, like Dixie Highway and whatnot. The state is responsible for maintaining all of the interstate highways. So like I-65, I-64, et cetera. Those are ones that the state maintains through their own personnel or through their contractor. We take care of all these other state highways.
And that's the last question in the chat.
All right, well, thanks everybody for tuning in. No telling what's going to happen. It could be better, it could be worse than what we're forecasting. But in particular, if it's better, do not let your guard down because clearly very cold weather is coming our way and likely some precipitation as well. So we'll update you as need be. And thanks for checking in today. Thanks for our team for continuing to get after it. And especially thanks to the men and women that are out behind the trucks, driving the trucks here to keep us all safe and keep our roads clear. All right, so everybody take care, stay warm, keep your mask on, keep socially distant. Thank you.